Ever since I was a child, I've had this strange fascination with Winnie the Pooh. I adored the book, the Disney movie, the Disney TV show, the other Disney TV show, the video games? Sure. The point is, there hasn't been a single Winnie the Pooh related thing that I haven't at least enjoyed. Well, recently I was presented with the opportunity to attend a production of the brand new musical Whinny the Pooh. It premiered in Chicago and New York before they decided, hey, we should give this a national tour. And I recently attended this. Well, here are my thoughts on it. I sat down in my seat in front of this gorgeous set on stage, like the trees, Rabbit's garden, the river, Eeyore's house. It was all there. The lighting on it all looked spectacular. This was a puppet show, so the puppets with the actors, it was so cute and charming. Each of them were based on the original book designs instead of the Disney adaptation, which was also extra special. And that's about where all of the good points stop. Let's just rip off this Band-Aid and say that this show sucks. Well, let's just say that the runtime was 60 minutes, and I was checking my watch at, about 20 minutes into the production. Now, I do want to be honest here, it was a bit hard to hear what was going on, and that absolutely affected my viewing experience. That was due to two reasons. Number one, the mics on most of the actors really needed to be turned up. I'll talk a bit more about the actors later, but let's just say a lot of them couldn't project very well, and they would have benefited from having their mics turned up. This is a tech/crew problem with the production. Number two, it didn't really matter if the mics were turned up or not, because every single child in the audience would not shut up. Hey guys, I think I found a new birth control method. Look, I do understand that children can be fussy during these events, or that they are more likely to talk and have a harder time sitting still. I am not blaming the kids. They do not know any better. When I was a kid, I absolutely would have talked if I could in front of the characters. However, I will blame the parents who were refusing to tell them to be quiet. It was like trying to watch a Broadway show in the middle of a preschool. Y'all, we really need to be teaching the future generation about theater etiquette. In fact, I will give you a very brief intro lesson on how to watch a show in a theater. Number one, if your kids are whiny, fussy, or just loud, please take them out of the theater and explain to them that they need to be quiet. Theaters often have screens outside them, so your kid can burn off steam, run around in circles, while you can still watch the show and enjoy it. If your kids are older, tell them why they need to be quiet. Then take them out of the theater if they still don't listen. I understand that, if your kid is really little, they might not understand the exact reasoning for why they need to be quiet, but there were some kids that were 6 years old that were being loud, and I'm like, okay, you know better. Then again, though, the parents might have been just as bad, since I saw a woman whip out her phone in the middle of the show to take a selfie with the flash on. Okay, I know you clicked on this video to actually hear a review of the show. I'll stop ranting about society now. Okay, thank you. The story is a bit of a mess. I can tell that they were trying to pull from a lot of different things in the Winnie the Pooh media, right? They had the Pooh stuck from eating too much honey plot, like when he's stuck in the tree. They had Tigger stomping on Rabbit's plants. The snowman named Miss Winter. Wait, what? It's like they wanted to make a greatest hits, but they also wanted it to add in new stuff, so it just didn't work very well. Also, Winnie the Pooh really felt like more of a villain than a hero in this story. He just kind of inconveniences everyone throughout the entire show. The music was alright. We got to hear a pretty terrible rendition of Sing Ho for the Life of a Bear, which was originally from Piglet's Big Movie, by the way. Shameless plug, I love Piglet's Big Movie and the video game. Turns out the song just isn't as good as when Carly Simon sings it. They added in this song that was called rumbling, bouncing, grumbling. I don't know, man. It was weird. At least they included the wonderful thing about Tiggers. If they didn't have that song, I think the music would have been like a solid 1 out of 10, but that song brought it up to a 3 out of 10. I will admit though, all of the instrumental music they included for scene transitions or for like transitioning between like literal summer to winter to whatever were absolutely gorgeous. Like the actual orchestra, if they had one or if it was a soundtrack, it sounded beautiful. I hate to even compare these two musicals, but I'm really tempted to say that the music in the Winnie the Pooh Kids musical that I was a part of was much better. It was certainly much more upbeat and cute because it's all kids who are performing as opposed to, like, adults with puppets. Okay, guys. It's time to talk about the god-awful acting I witnessed. I've been an actress since I was 6 years old. It is not that hard to do a good, clear Piglet voice. Well, not for this actress, apparently. At least at my production, she was impossible to understand. I don't know how you can hire an actress who you can't understand on stage. Oh my gosh. Winnie the Pooh just sounded high all the time.
Oh, hello there.
Doing a good Winnie the Pooh voice is really hard. I get it. There are, like, voice professionals who have a hard time doing his voice. But he was also impossible to understand as well. He kind of sounded like he was about to sing all the time, but then just wouldn't. All of his intonation and, like, where he put emphasis on syllables was off. He would be like, oh, it's a sunny day, isn't it, Piglet? Like, it just sounded weird. At that point, just give him a weird voice. I would rather him sound like a southern dude. It's just like, hey there, Piglet, as opposed to whatever the heck we heard. It's okay if you can't do it well. I would rather you be heard than have a terrible accent. Would you believe me if I told you Pooh and Piglet were the main characters? Well, kind of. Piglet gets drop-kicked off stage and is not seen for 30 minutes in this 60-minute play. However, Piglet's actress was also double cast as Roo, so that was fun. You just can't get rid of Piglet. Ever. He's there to haunt me the rest of my life, I swear. I just figured that the rest of the actors would be terrible since your leads carry the show and usually you cast your best people to be the leads. But somehow the rest of the cast was great. Tigger hard carried this show. The actor had so much energy and a perfect voice for him while still being allowed to put his own spin on things. Also, side note, one of my friends apparently is friends with the person who played Tigger at my production, so if it came from anything close to the college that I went to for theater, then no wonder this person was so good. Eeyore was also a fantastic actor. He had great intonation. He had a lot of good spin on things as well. I just wish we got to see more of him. Eeyore's my favorite character. Why couldn't he have been in the show more? Kanga, Rabbit, and Owl were also barely on stage, but were fine. I really liked how Owl's, like, wings were for his cool puppet. And Rabbit was fine. He kind of sounded like SpongeBob, but I'm fine with that. And Kanga sounded perfect, because it's Kanga. Really easy to sound like Kanga. Roo was Piglet's actress. Need I say more? Finally, we have Christopher Robin. He comes out at, like, the very end of the show and is like, oh, hey, Pooh, you know, like, they do that whole, like, Pooh Sticks thing, and it's really cute. But the actor was just very gay. I know, it's theater. There's a lot of gay men in theater. But it just sounded off, especially to finish the show with. Because, like, this is supposed to be, like, a cute, rambunctious little kid. I don't want to see a man walking on stage with just the gayest walk in the universe. He didn't seem like a kid to me. And it's more like I would rather you actually cast a child or something. I don't know. Look, I really wanted to like the Winnie the Pooh musical. I really wanted to look past all of the flaws and justify the production. But I just can't. For the first time ever in a theater performance, I didn't clap at bows. If there was an intermission, I would have left halfway through. I wanted to yell at the parents for how badly their kids were behaving. But then I realized, if I was a 5-year-old and I was in the theater, I too would have loved this show. This show wasn't made for 20-something-year-olds with no kids. It was made to be like baby's first musical experience. And for that, I might say that this show could still be worth seeing if you have little ones and you want to give them that great first musical experience for a very, short show. If you're loaded, that is. Why were these tickets $36? Did I seriously pay that much?